Hola, hola, hola. Hello, hello. Hope that you can hear me. This is Randall calling, uh, tuning in, logging on. Management CPR. Let's talk about it. As you can see, my location has changed. They've kicked me out of my office because they're doing some building over there. But I wanted to make sure that I got on here and spent this time with you guys. If you can hear me as you're coming in, please say hello. Let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to greet you. Again, this is Management CPR. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I've got a great show planned for you today. We're going to do some really good, heartfelt talk today. I'm not going to do a lot of teaching, but I do want to have a conversation with the entrepreneurs that are here in our group, those that'll see this in the replay. Hello, thank you so much for logging in. I have in my description, just get right into it. In my description, I put in there that winter is here. Winter is here, and I know that's a great phrase that they had when we were doing when they had what is that long series? I don't know what it was. My wife used to love it. Not Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm talking about, with the dragon and the White Queen and all that stuff. That thing. When they had that out there, there was a statement. It was an ad that they were running talking about winter is coming. And what we think about in the financial world, that winter is here. It's any type of a downturn. They kind of deem it as winter. And I wanted to just share with you, as managers, as business owners, those of you that are going to be business owners, winter is here. It's here. That downturn time is here. We've been in it for quite a while, almost a year now, and it doesn't have with it, the resurgence of the pandemic and in COVID-19. There's no end in sight right now. But I'm faithful. I believe that we will come out of this. We'll come out of it stronger, and things are going to change. I wanted to get really kind of personal and really kind of get transparent with you. I deal with a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of startup businesses and things like that. And one of the things that that was one of the reasons why I was a couple of minutes late today, because I couldn't get off the phone with one of my clients. Because she was very frankly, she was freaking out. She works in France now. She's on assignment. She's a reporter. And she was really, really distraught because a lot of folks are getting laid off in her area, even in, reporting, the news, because of course those are a lot of corporations. So a lot of shifting and a lot of changes have happened. But at any rate, I came across this article in New York Times, and it's dated, and forgive me for looking down, it's dated actually today, the 20th, by Mr. Thomas L. Friedman. And I wanted to share a little bit of it with you and have this discussion around this idea of winter, if you will. The title of the opinion piece is "After the Pandemic, a Revolution in Education and Work Awaits. Providing more Americans with portable health care, portable pensions, and opportunities for lifelong learning is what politics needs to be about post November 3rd. I'm just going to read just a paragraph here. The good Lord works in mysterious ways. He, in parentheses, she, threw a pandemic at us at exactly the same time as a tectonic shift in the way we will learn, work, and employ. Fasten your seatbelts. When we emerge from the coronavirus, corona crisis, we're going to be greeted with one of the most profound eras of Scrumpterian, I think that's how you pronounce that, creative destruction ever, which this pandemic is both accelerating and disguising. This is the paragraph that got me, and this is only the second paragraph. Listen to this. No job, no K through 12 school, no university, no factory, no office will be spared. None of them. None of us in that regard. And it will touch both white collar and blue collar workers, which is why this election matters so much. How we provide more Americans with portable health care, pensions, and opportunities for lifelong learning to get the most out of the moment and cushion the worst is what politics needs to be about after November 3rd. And we're really headed for instability. Okay. I'm going to stop there and just encourage you guys to go. It's in the New York Times today. It's opinion poll, and the title is "After the Pandemic, a Revolution in Education and Work Awaits." The article goes on. I shouldn't close my notes here. I just want to talk to you guys today. The article goes on to talk about how there's going to be a shift in how we do work, how we do school. Universities, there are some of them that simply will not survive. Some universities right now are sending kids back to their homes because of the pandemic and because they're not prepared for the change that's happening. And you know what? I'll put this in managerial terms. There are managers right now that are sitting at home because they haven't got the skill set to transition or to pivot into another role or to strengthen the role that they're currently in. That's one of the reasons, certainly not the only reason why managers are being sent home. But this is what I wanted to share with you that really kind of unearthed this idea in my mind, is that if you don't have the proper skill set, if you don't understand how to change and become a lifelong learner and really dig into whatever the field is that you need, that you're working in, if you don't really perfect that and then be able to move into either up or alongside to a different type of role, you're going to be left behind. I'm just going to be really honest with you guys and really blunt, because I saw this in my career. I'm going to tell you a story. I was working at this time. This is years ago. I was working at Allstate. It was Allstate. I was we had a direct response team. We were selling insurance. And what our team's goal, our team's function is to take in the direct mailers that came in, that people signed up, they wanted to have term insurance, right? So we would, property insurance, so they're doing automobiles. All right, so we would open up the letters and then place them into the system so they could be moved around the company electronically, right? My boss, her name was Susie. Susie was pregnant when we got there, and she was like really pregnant. She was like on her 8th month or so, and so she went out on maternity leave. I was the assistant manager. Okay, now I have to tell you something about me, which I'm sure most of you don't know. I'm not ambitious in regards to like, I'm gonna take your job, I want your throat. I'm not that type of ambitious, but I'm a very hard worker. I've always been a very hard worker because I have 3 boys, as I've shared with you guys over the weeks, a little bit about my family, and I wanted to make sure that I provided for my family. So I've always been a lifelong learner. I've always been someone that would be able to transition into different roles if the opportunity presented itself. And one of the main skill sets that I used to get me in those positions and to get me into those doors was the fact that I can solve problems. I've always been that guy that you go to and say, hey, Randy, I need X, Y, Z, and says, oh, you just need to do this and this. I've always been that guy. And I took that skill set, it's just a gifting that I have, and I use it in business, right? And that's really saved me over my career when I was working for corporate people. And the thing that I've noticed now is that in my business currently, that's one of my main touchstones. I help people that are starting businesses to solve problems. What's the problem? I have a desire to go into business. Let's talk about that. Put everything into a bucket, dump all the stuff out of your head, and then I help you to push that thing into a mold that you can actually monetize. Right? That's what I do, and it sounds like a lot of mumbo jumbo, but it really is basically being able to solve a problem, whatever that problem is. I can solve it very quickly. All right, so and that's something that I learned. It's not something that I learned and I perfected over years and years of study and decades of hit and miss, making mistakes, learning how to do things better, how to do things more skillfully, and how to do things quite honestly quicker. So I was able to really be able to transition into different roles very easily. Getting back to Susie, she went out on maternity leave. I was her assistant, and of course, that role fell to me. So I was basically the temporary and then stand-in until she came back from maternity leave. But my performance was such that after she was out for 8 weeks, after she was out for 2 weeks, they actually gave me her job. I didn't ask for it. I didn't say, hey, I think I can do her job. That's first of all, it's never been me. That wasn't me at that time either. But my performance. and that I could solve problems very, very quickly. That helped me to get elevated to that, and it was a significant raise. I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood, and this is like 98. It was about a $25,000 raise. It was ridiculous. And I was basically doing the same thing that I've always done, except that I knew how to manage people and I knew how to solve problems. I said all that to say this. If you're in a situation that you've been in the same job for quite a while, or that you've been furloughed, or that you've been laid off, and things of that nature, this is not the time to cower in a corner. And I'm not saying that to be cruel. I know that there are a lot of folks out there that are hurting. But here's the reality, is that this actually is the best time to plot your reentry. Because here's what I know, and I put this in the descriptor as well. Winter is here. We're going through it. But for those of you who live in the Midwest and live in places that kind of the seasons change and things of that nature, spring comes after winter. And it's coming. I can't tell you when. It may be another year. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be much more than that. It's just too much money at stake. But it is coming. And when it comes, where are you going to be in that position? Are you going to be in that position to take advantage of that spring when everything starts to go back to some form of normal? Because you'll never go back to what we had before. It'll never come back again. Corporations right now have already transitioned and sent all of their folks home to work from home. And they're going to start to, in the next 6 months or so, start to really reap the benefits of the overhead that they save. It's going to be a lot of real estate that's going to be for sale because they simply don't need it. They need a phone line. With 5G coming on and 5G getting more prevalent and getting more, acclimated, and they're building systems and things like that, it's going to take over. You won't need to go into an office. Go in every now and again for meetings and things of that nature to touch base and things like that. But meetings, work product, things of that nature, it can be done in your home. It can be done in your home. And now that we've been forced to do it, we're starting to figure out how to do it. And with technology moving so quickly, the advent of Zoom and how Zoom is becoming so good in regards to security and its flexibility, I promise you, things aren't going to go back to the way that they were. But this is the spring that I want to tell you about. Your skill set. What's your skill set? I hear Tony Robbins talk about all the time that his mentor told him that everybody's equal in the sight of God and on a spiritual level. Everybody's equal. The playing field is completely level. But everybody is not equal in the marketplace. They're not. There are certain jobs and certain skill sets that get paid more than other jobs and skill sets because of the value that they have. And that's what I'm offering you this time. And I'm going to be logging off here in a moment, but I just want to share this with you. If you don't have a coach, if you don't have a plan, and you're trying to figure this thing out on your own, but you really need some help, that's what G Rally is for. That's what we do. I mean, we do it every single day for businesses large and small. We come in and we help them figure out, okay, what are my next steps? I have this issue, if you're a business owner, I have this issue in regards to my employees, or I have this issue in regards to my operations, and I don't know how to work through it. Ask for help. Get a coach. You may not, we may not gel. We may not be the right organization for you because I'm very, very, I'm not orthodox in that regard. I've been in corporate America. I'm not that, hey man, you need to get your KPIs together. You know what you need to do? You need to know how to work with people. That's what you need to do. You can hire somebody for your KPIs. You can hire someone to hire people for you. You can hire somebody to fire people for you. But in regards to your business and the soul of your business, you're going to have to know how to solve problems. And you're going to have to know how to solve them quickly. And you have to know how to identify problems before they become uncontrollable. That's what we do. We hope our clients do that. Whatever it is that you're going through right now, it's only winter for a season. You will have an opportunity to go and to move forward if you're prepared. So again, I would just offer to you guys, I have my link in the bio for this particular live. And you know what? It shows on there some of the folks that we work with currently and some of the folks that we've helped in the past. And it gives you a real good idea of who I am, what I have done, and what, to be honest, what we're really blessed to do on a daily basis. We love our clients And we love taking care of business, and we love taking care of entrepreneurs that are trying to grow and scale. And also to those that are just now starting. You know what? You may not be going back to your corporate job. It's just a reality. But I do know this. You have to get, some type of income. You got to have something to take care of you and your family. And let us help you understand ways and different options that you can explore to transition into that role. Okay? I hope that you heard my heart in this live. Not a lot of teaching today, just a real good gut check, that I just want to share with business people, because I don't know if people are even thinking about it. People are waiting for their corporations to come back online and to go back to quote unquote normal. It's not going to happen. I promise you it's not going to happen. It's not. Every time that there's a downturn like this, there's some type of transition. I remember the last one was 08, 09. Huge transition. Downsizing, right sizing, all these other sizings. They did all those things. And you know what? They're going to do them again. And when I say they, I mean major corporations that have thousands of people in some regards to manage and to pay for, because they're finding out, you know what? I can actually do school online. I don't need to rent and lease and have the overhead of all these buildings. I can kind of scale back, and that's what's going to happen. It has to happen. That's the transition. That's where we find ourselves in technology. So I'm not going to belabor the time. I appreciate you guys so much. I love coming on here on Wednesdays. I'd love to hear what you guys think about what I shared. I'd love to see if you had an opportunity to read that article or something of that nature to understand where we find ourselves in society right now. Because I promise you, this is our normal. This is our new normal. And I hate those cliche little terms and overused terms, but it's new. It's new to all of us. And what I'd love to do is to help you to transition through this season and come out in the spring shining. That's what I would love to help you do. So if you're interested, please give us a call. We would love to share with you and see if it's something, us working together would be something that would be interesting to you. And we'd love to help you any way that we can. All righty. Again, check out the link that's in my bio for this live, and I'd love to speak to some of you guys. All right, either me or my wife. She does a lot of our phone calls and things like that too. We'll be happy to talk to you. Hope you're having a great afternoon. Have a great week, and I appreciate you guys so much.